Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You know, some things come across your timeline, and when you see them, it disgusts you so much that you have to say something about it. I got to thank my girl Emma for sending this to me. Really do appreciate it. You keep me abreast of it, especially on things like this over here, folks. The reason why I left the screen blank in the beginning, because I want you to get the full essence of what I'm about to tell you. Young African-American man, young black man, minding his own business, gets called, the police get called on him because he looked at a white woman. Do y'all understand that? The same thing happened to Emmett Till. He was supposedly looked and whistled at a white woman. Now let's take this back to the 1950s or to the 1960s. A mob would have been ensued at this young man. He would have, the judge, the jury, and the executioner all would have showed up, because this white woman who didn't want to show her face, that was ducked out in the crowd somewhere, that was ducked out over where, calling the police on a young black man because he looked at her a certain way. How in the fuck are you supposed to look at somebody these days being black? Now, if this is not a case for, what Trump, what 45 has brought to the table with this open, flagrant racism shit, that you can call the police on a black man or a black woman at any given time that you feel free to, simply because of the color of your skin. This is one of those instances there, folks. You don't need Roland Martin to tell you about this. You don't need CNN to tell you about this. This is right here on Facebook. Last week, we had another post where a young white kid was out there with a assault rifle shooting at something, claiming because he hates black people. And this is what he's going to do to black people. There's such a thing as freedom of speech, folks, but there's also such a thing as your freedom of speech has to end somewhere. Why aren't these people that falsely call the police on black people, not something that's not being done to them? Why aren't they not being charged for wasting the police's time? For a young man walking down the street, about to meet somebody, about to go have a meal, why is it so necessary for a white woman to say, you know what, he must be looking at me, he must be gonna rob me, let me call the police? You know why? Because they know what the police will do to young African American men when they get there. Here just recently, we had a couple of tragic shootings. One young white boy took his life. The other one is sitting comfortably in a jail cell right now. 3 hots in a cot. Let's take a look at this video.
Hello, this is Kamiko, and I am in Royal Oak, Michigan. I was going to the CVS over here when this young man is stopped because a Caucasian lady said that he looked at her suspiciously, and he has been pulled over walking to go to eat by 2 police officers for suspicion of being black. And
Now look at this. First of all, you got 2 police officers. Now you're going to see a little bit later on in this video, there's going to be a hell of a lot more than 2 police officers. For this one kid that's obviously is unarmed, that's obviously minding his own business. But look later on the video, you'll see just how many police actually show up. Because a white lady said a young black man looked at her in a certain way, suspiciously.
At the Caucasian woman. He been stopped for looking at the Caucasian woman in Royal Oak, Michigan. They got him surrounded. So I'm not going to leave the brother out here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. By the way, I'm sorry for wasting you guys' time. No, I'm just, because he, you know, the reason is because you said,
Let me get close.
but she called and said, hey, there's a guy staring at me. I'm threatened. I'm scared.
Black in America, Royal Oak, Michigan. He looks suspicious.
I guess what makes it so worse, I'm pretty sure if she would have did the same thing, he would have let her go too.
They pulled up on 20-year-old.
She doesn't even know me, but she's still out there standing with herself.
This is the restaurant owner. She is not leaving his side.
So if someone calls about someone, we're not supposed to respond?
No, you are, but not the way you are. Because even while, if you're investigating the comment, as you pull up and you see, I'm not a threat to her. I'm not even close to her.
How do we know until we find out and talk to her?
Well, this is the thing.
See, that's the thing, folks. We're always, we never get the benefit of the doubt as African American people in this United States. We never get the benefit of the doubt. They always take the white person's word over the black person's words. That's how it is. That is absolutely how it is. You heard that police say himself. Well, what we not supposed to do? We're not supposed to check up on what she said. If you arrive as me as a police officer, I arrive at a situation and I don't see anyone being threatened. If I don't see anyone being held at gunpoint, if I don't see anyone held at knife point, the first thing I want to do is find the person who called this in. Ma'am, where is this threat that we have run to? It can't be that guy over there that you're pointing out because he's not doing anything. He's no threat to you. He's across the street. So how could he be a threat to you? Ma'am, do you know we have a lot better things to do than come out here and check on that for every black person that you might be concerned about? Maybe that's what the police should have said. Instead, they surround this kid hoping that he maybe have said something belligerent, or maybe he did something so they can get another feather in their cap. Well, we became the, as you say, the heroes of the day. A damsel in distress called us, and here we came to her rescue. Just like the young man said, if this lady would have called on that lady, there wouldn't have been 4 or 5 policemen around. If the white lady sitting over in the car over there would have called on this white restaurant owner and said that she was looking at him, so she was looking at her suspiciously, do you think the police would have showed up 3 and 4 deep? They probably would have told her, ma'am, please do not waste our 911 taxpayer dollars like this. But because it was a black man, it's an instant threat, and the police do respond, as you see, in force and with a quickness.
He was pulling up. Well, wait, let me finish. While he was pulling up, I'm walking in. I'm right here. So I'm not even close to her. So once you even see that, ma'am, I don't think he's even paying any attention.
I'm going to go over here and get this lady on camera.
Once he actually, I told him I was parking my car. I'm getting out. I'm going to go eat. And my food goes. Oh, you're
They pulled up on the brother in Royal Oak, Michigan, because the Caucasian lady done called the police on him. After he just walking down the street to meet his girlfriend at a restaurant. This is the restaurant owner. He's free to go. Woohoo! He's free. This is the restaurant owner.
If he's not getting compliant, we still want to find out who the heck you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? If someone calls.
Yeah, I get it.
Like,
But,
you call us.
you got to understand.
Okay.
That's fine. She called because he's a black guy.
I don't know what's on. It's all right.
The lady over there in that car, she called. Who's sitting over there hiding?
Hey, you guys,
This is awful.
you can come back and enjoy your kids. Thank you guys so much.
We weren't leaving.
Okay? Like, that is totally messed up.
Totally
And
horrible.
If that were me walking across the street and walking in, this would not be happening. Because I was looking at her while I was trying to park. This would not be happening.
Somebody called about you.
No, I know that, but like, to keep them.
And the thing about it is, folks, they continue to try and justify what they know is absolutely wrong. The only reason they showed up at that particular place at that particular time is because a white woman called and said she felt threatened by a young black man walking across the street. That's why they showed up in force. Make no mistake about it. Even another white woman telling them that, they can't fathom that. They can't stomach that. They cannot believe that this was not one of those come save me from the horrible black man. That's what this call was about, folks. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, and I applaud the people, the lady, that whoever was recording this, because, you know, in so many instances that this could have turned into another case of police shooting another unarmed black man. And it all stemmed from a call that didn't have to be made. For every video like this that we see, think of the hundreds of them that we don't see, that don't get recorded. Think about Emmett Till. If he would have had a cell phone back in the day, and he could have recorded what he did, you think they would have believed him still? Hell no, because it's obvious they don't believe this kid right now. That's why they showed up. They believed her. They believed that there was one of the white damsels in distress, and the white devil showed up to protect her. You folks can say what you want to about me. Again, some folks tell me I'm a little bit harsh about what I say, but again, I hate to have to keep using this disclaimer, but the disclaimer was right there in front of you. Not all white people act like this. You heard the restaurant owner say, if I was walking across that street and gave that lady that look, she wouldn't have called you. No, she wouldn't have. Y'all know what this is about. It's all about race. It's all about being black in America, that you're not free to walk anywhere unless you got your papers. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
You're inferring a lot, and you probably are too. You're inferring a hell of a lot.
No,
and you're implying a lot.
we are lit.
Okay.
The lady over there, she called. The one hiding over there. He better run. The guy over there, he better run. You in the wrong neighborhood, brother.
How do we know that until we talk to anybody?
You're right. I understand that.
Are we supposed to have all these facts?
This is the
before
point.
talking to
The
people?
whole thing is that this lasted so long.
Well, we came from 13 and Woodward because we were told.
Well, the thing about it is, why didn't you address the person that made the complaint? Why did you automatically assume when you pulled up that when you saw that young black man that he was the problem? That's what both of these people are trying to say. They're not making an accusation. They're not making an assumption. They are stating facts. That someone called and said they got a strange, suspicious look from a young black man walking down the street. They probably gave a description of what he had on, and y'all stopped him. Instead of talking to these people, you should be over there now talking to the complainant. That's how you get your information. I'm not on the police force, but I know better than that. Get your facts straight before you talking about going to arrest or stop somebody. Well, ma'am, where are you? How about that, policeman? Just don't assume that every black man that's walking down the street is about to commit a crime. Sorry about that, folks.
Nonsense. A racist lady.
He just says, hey, I'm going to you can record this too.
I am.
All you have to do is say, you know what, I'm just parking my car, minding my own business. Okay?
He did several times.
Check's okay. And you know what? He'd be eating right now. He'd have an hors d'oeuvre right now.
He did say
He did say that.
And then he asked for a supervisor because he was being
harassed and threatened.
Okay, we had to respond, right? We had to respond. We were 4 miles away.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
Okay, here it is. Why should he have to explain anything? Why should he have to get out of his car, and because someone's parked next to him, he should get out of his car and make a statement? I'm no threat to you. Don't worry about it. Don't call the police. I'm just going next door to have something to eat. I'm no threat to you. I'm not here to rob you, lady. I'm going to go get something to eat. Why do we have to do that? Why should he have had to done that? You understand what the police are saying, folks? We got to give a reason to why we got to be somewhere. And I keep using this word we because I'm included in that, because that could have easily been me. That could have easily been any African-American man that happened to be in that vicinity in the eye shot of that woman. As you see, she's nowhere in the picture, so she wasn't too much worried, was she? I got the boys in blue to save me. Let's finish this video out.
I understand you were 4 miles away.
This world understands that it's not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal when it's happened consistently. This is up.
And folks, this is what, as you see this white lady right here. Imagine what you look at the caption right here. And this is what I'm going to try and tie all this together right quickly. But you see what I'm talking about? You see why they feel so emboldened to say and do anything and call the police on black men, black children, black women? Because they know they got the leader in the White House. Take a look at this. Take a listen to this.
Picture of Trump surfaced showing him smoking crack. Would you still vote for him?
Absolutely.